A super rainy, drizzly day here. First day of February 2025. I am recording this actually on that day, and this is for the little monthly forecast. So I've taken a bunch of my decks and we're just going to tear in. We're doing this in real time. We're doing this live, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so I'm just working with the first pull from today with Kim Krans, the amazing Kim Krans, who's just a genius artist, and the unknown archetypes. All right, let's dig in. See what our first message is for February. Ooh, this is an interesting start to the year. At least it has been for me. Okay. Let's see what these cards have to say for us, for our collective, for the month of February 2025. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the mountain. All right, the mountain. The mountain is foreboding. The mountain is something to be traversed. This is a lesson. It could be something that we're trying to surmount, something that we're trying to move over. But there's so much wonderful things about the mountain as well. There's so much to be learned with the mountain. And I love in this illustration, she's got sort of like Aurora Borealis type of light. So let's just see what about this card. I hope everybody's doing okay. Okay, it's number 33 in this book. Let's see what Kim has to say about the mountain. I'm going to hold this beauty up. The mountain stands eternally in our awareness, calling us towards its peak. It stirs up stoic and regal feelings, reminding us of the long line of spirits, sages, sadhus, and gods that made their humble thrones within its snowy peaks. Beware, though, as the mountain can affect us in two ways. It can inspire and enliven us to rise to new heights and peak experience, yet it can also create isolation, competitiveness, and an inflated sense of self. Standing upon its heights can activate the purist and the perfectionist in us, creating separation from those we deem to be below. No matter how high you ascend, remember that it is within the core of the mountain that the gems, minerals, and jewels reside. If you think it's all about going up, you're following the fool's path and missing the miner's magic. Interesting. So when light, grounded in the eternal, steadfast, uplifting, when dark, ominous, daunting, isolating, and frigid, go deeper with Mary Oliver's poem, The Poet Dreams of the Mountain. Contemplate Joseph Campbell's suggestion. You are the central mountain, and the central mountain is everywhere. Research mountains, find one that strikes you, and stare at it for a while. Where is it? The pilgrim may be awakening in you. The summit calls. Okay, so a little bit of ambiguity, which I really appreciate about Kim's work, and really, like, let's just think about this collectively. It's not always about getting to the top, reaching the pinnacle. It could be about I love that she talks about going within, inside the mountain. That's where the gems and the minerals are. So it's not always about ascending and reaching this kind of peak state. There could be other gifts of this rugged landscape, right? All right, we're going to ease on into the flow with another one of my favorites, Marcella Kroll. You can see how loved these decks are. They are battered, beaten, and worn. So let's see what the Sacred Symbols deck, I think mine is the 3rd edition, and I believe she has a 4th edition out The decks that I choose kind of choose themselves because I have so many at home. Obviously I have my favorites that will always be staples, but there are some new ones that wanted to pop through today. Okay, spiritual cleansing. Usually I believe in this deck, the spiritual cleansing card indicates it is time for you to receive a spiritual cleansing. So how can you receive a spiritual cleansing? You can go to a healer of your choice, and that healer could be somebody who works with energy, who does massage, or it could be an actual person that does energy work. It could be a sound bath. There are so many different forms of spiritual cleansing. You could do ceremony, you could do your own personal ritual or ceremony. But really this is asking for maybe clear what's off in your energy field, and just you need a little clearing. Maybe go sage your house, sage your dwelling, sage your car. If you don't have sage, Palo Santo. And when I refer to these sacred smoke things, like with the page in the Palo Santo, I know that there is we have to watch where we're sourcing that from, because some of it is like, I think Palo Santo is the tree is on an endangered list in South America. So you want to look for reputable places to source your things. I get mine from a company in California that crafts the Palo Santo from fallen branches, and then also with the sage, they grow it on their own property to sell it. So it's not like they're stealing from indigenous land. Just want to say that. Just for saying it. But let's see, maybe Marcella has something in here that I've missed with the spiritual cleansing. So let me just take a gander. Yeah, just an imbalance, stuck energies in the body. This is like before moving on, go ahead and get yourself a little cleansing or healing. And that could be like, let's say you're not in a position to do that. If you can take a salt bath or something like that and just flow the intention of, I am cleansing any energies that don't belong to me. I am cleansing any energies or releasing any energies from my physical body that are maybe distorted, crystallized thought patterns from anxiety or anything, basically a rumination that is mine that's not serving me. And definitely other people's energy. I always do other people's energy. All right, moving forward, we're going to Megan Watterson's. We really need to call on her today, the Divine Feminine Oracle. I really like this one. I love Megan Watterson. Let's see what this deck wants to bring us today. So Megan Watterson, she was a theologian, and she studied at Harvard, and I believe she worked specifically with the Gnostic Gospels, specifically of the Gospel of Mary. Some of you might be saying, the Gospel of Mary, how come I don't know about that? Well, there are some Gospels that got edited out of history by the church. So let's go ahead, and this is Mary Magdalene, not Mary, Mother of Jesus, okay? But the Divine Feminine in this deck, she looks at many different goddesses. Oh yeah. Okay, we have Freya. What a beautiful goddess for now. This is the goddess of discernment. All right, y'all. Discernment. Like, where can we, how can we find a way to discern what is true and what is not? This is going to become increasingly a challenge for us with our media sources. And I think this is really a time, if like no other time, tap into your intuition. Tap into your own internal power. Tap into your own internal knowing. Like, if something doesn't feel right or doesn't read right, you know, be aware, pay attention. Things are changing quickly. It's all this kind of trickster energy is all around us right now. It's all around. So how can you lean in and be more discerning at any given moment? I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Okay, I love that. That's a slogan on here. So there's a lot of things that can pull us in different directions right now, and I totally agree with this. And I want to quote a friend: full body yes or a hell no. So we're looking for the full body yes. If it's not a full body yes, it doesn't need to happen. So where can you lean back? Where can you lean in? And really, just my advice is to just go towards the thing that really lights you up at this moment. No need to waste your time doing other things, or things that you think you should do or you need to do because you want to be a good person or a good neighbor or a good friend or a good daughter or a good parent. Let's look at the things that really, I mean, obviously we've got to have responsibilities at home and hearth, but man, when we've got an option, you want the thing that is a total full body yes. Okay, moving on to Rebecca Campbell's Rose Oracle. I love this woman. She's Australian, but I think lives in England. And she has written some books. I think Light is the New Black. And by the way, I'm not endorsed by any of these people's stuff that I'm reading. It's a personal enjoyment that I get from their work. So let's see what the Rose Oracle has to say for us today. Okay. Woo. All right. We get the Rapture card. Wow. Rapture. So sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. So amidst all of this swirl of what's going on in the world, how can we access our rapture? There are many different ways to do this, but I would guess that probably a way to do this well is to disconnect a little bit from what's going on in the outside world and just being in love. Finding ways to love yourself, finding ways to love others, allowing yourself pleasure, and this can be in the form of sexual pleasure, this could be the form of sensual pleasure, or indulging in life, and just really coming from a heart-focused and heart-centered place of love for self. And this, this might be the thing that fills the gas tank for this month. Okay, let's all remember that one. Okay, we're gonna move into the Galactic Heritage deck, Lissa Royal Holt. And all these little packagings on my decks are just falling apart. All right, let's see what this month has in store on the galactic front. Any messages from our galactic family and friends, I guess? I don't know. The themes in this deck are just so awesome anyway. So let's just see what's coming through. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what's coming through is card 33. It is desperation. So perhaps, this kind of paradox right here that we've got going on. This deck talks a lot about the paradox, right? So maybe to look at where we're acting out of desperation in our life. Like, what things are we doing because we're in this desperate place? Okay, and maybe taking a step back. I want to look into the wisdom of this book because there's so many beautiful nuggets here. So sometimes in crisis, I think she's pointing to we're making choices out of fear and desperation that we wish that we could take back. Take a look at the lessons learned and just from other cultures, civilizations, even these galactic folk. And try to apply them to your life by never reacting from fear or desperation, for those choices will be the ones that are not aligned with your higher self. Okay, acting from fear or desperation is always going to, you're always going to make a hasty decision that isn't thought out. So when something is presenting itself in this month, instead of just rushing to make a fear-based decision or your reactionary kind of move, just pause, okay, step back, take some breaths, maybe just take a walk, give it a day. There's no rush. There's no need to just go ahead and respond immediately or reflexively, okay? Just take a beat and know that when you act from a place where you're engaged more with your center versus acting out of desperation, it's always going to be the right choice. So just pause. There's no rush. There's no need to do something in the immediate right away. And also, I say this so, like, you know, also let's be aware of our rights right now. Let's be aware of our rights. Okay? All right, moving on to the Untamed Elemental. So let's see what we get from the Untamed Elemental. This is probably one of my slightly newer decks in the last year. And I just love the illustration and the wisdom of this deck. And I believe this is by a woman in Hawaii, Tasia Van Ree. And I just really appreciate it. I love it. There's a lot of wisdom here. A lot of wisdom with this deck. Okay, let's see which one wants to play. Okay. Woo, Thunderbolts. We get the energy of the Thunderbolt. And I would be remiss not to read from this book directly. So let's just see what we see. Okay. All right. So dispelling ignorance. Weapon of the sky, Thunderbolt is the conductor of consequence. Full-throated and unswerving, this electric iconoclast reigns with force, leveling resistance and dispelling ignorance. Though he seems destructive, his temper plays a part in the evolution of much of Earth's life forms. He has equal power to annihilate and bestow life. The moment he hits is an instant of synthesis, disrupting tightly held notions and lighting the way for new truths to emerge. May we be blessed with this energy. Thunderbolt does not hold back his fervent proclamations, telling you that the difficulty is not in the issue itself, but rather in how you currently choose to see things. Ignorance is at the root of all suffering and arises from misperception about the nature of existence. This noxious obstacle to freedom can overcome with little effort once you cease clinging to limiting and damaging ideas. Call upon Thunderbolt to grace your perceptions with this sonic shockwave. Ask him to transform your perspective into a freshly seen, world-churned, mind-blown experience that elevates all of your relationships. So when this energy is balanced, we are illuminated, open-minded, and content. When it's imbalanced, we suffer through misperception, craving, or aversive energy. And to bring into balance, question the indoctrinations that cause your suffering. So to me, the Thunderbolt energy, let's just take a beat, is just this very intense energy that's going on in the world right now. We feel this energy of like lightning strike. Everything's being illuminated. Everything's being changed. We're not liking what we're seeing. It's disorienting, right? And actually, the lightning bolts or the thunder, like the lightning bolts that hit the Earth's surface affect the Schumann resonance, which is the resonance of the Earth, which then causes geological happenings such as earthquakes and volcanoes and stuff. So there's a lot of that actually going on. And then additionally, the solar flares coming in and releasing all this plasma towards the earth. It's got everybody feeling a little bit discombobulated. And then, you know, everybody on the planet, I mean, when I say everybody, because look at what's going on. So just, I wonder like how we can work with this energy of what's going on to illuminate what we need to see in order to make change, right? But if we're clinging to the old way, guys, no, we're going to suffer. Basically, things are changing at a incredibly rapid pace, and it would behoove us to all sort of be able to move, knowing that the world is forever changed, will be forever different, and how the illumination of these atrocities, these behaviors, and different things like that can propel us to a higher place. Can actually, maybe this, you know, I'm going to post something like maybe all of what's happening in the world is a catalyst for us to transcend the old way. Maybe we were sort of asleep at the wheel. Maybe, you know, it's not like any of this stuff is new. It's just being exposed. So let's work with that. Let's remember that as we're moving forward in this month when things seem crazy and unmanageable. Okay. Now finally we'll end with an Auric Alchemy card pull. This is the card deck that I created from symbols that I channeled back in 2021. And so I've put all the symbols that I channeled in a card deck, and I teach classes on it, and I do attunements, and I'm in the process of writing a book about it, so it will make it more accessible to more people. But basically the symbols in this deck are frequencies, and you can get a little boost from them just from looking at the symbols. So let's see what's the energy that we need right now. We need support from the stars. This is a cosmic gift, a cosmic blessing. So you can just look at this symbol. And I'm going to send you the energy that is that this symbol represents, okay? So just take a moment and orient yourself wherever you are. Get comfortable. And I'm going to pass some of this energy to you. And just begin to sense, like, where are you feeling this in the body? What does this energy feel like? This energy connects us to our higher selves, but also source and universal blessings and information, so that we can come into more discernment. I hope you felt that. I hope it served you. So let's just do a little recap for February. We've got the energy of the mountain. Don't worry about summiting. Don't worry about climbing to the highest height. Know that there are gifts and jewels along the journey, including what is inside the mountain. So just look at your motives here, okay? With any obstacles that you may be facing. Time to go get a little spiritual cleansing, whether that's going to a sound bath, taking a salt bath, getting an energy healing. And I do offer these healings remotely as well. So if you're interested, you can go to www.theenergeticheart.com and then just go under, you can look under all that I offer, and I offer a bunch of remote services. So if you're not in Atlanta and would like to book, you can do that with me. There are many, many other healers. Go for the one that you feel in alignment with. Go for the people that you feel connected to, okay? It's important to feel a connection with somebody when you book with them. Let's, again, with the discernment, okay? With Freya. Use your time wisely. This is the time to call in more rest, call in more solitude if that's what you need, call in more community if that's what you need. Realize what it is that you need and use your energy wisely, okay? Don't forget along this way to pull in moments of pleasure for yourself, however that looks for you, okay? But make sure that you're getting time to experience some really, without sounding like inappropriate or corny, bucket filling type stuff. So stuff that's going to fill your bucket, the stuff that's going to help you feel great and more than great, like enraptured. Okay, be careful with your decisions, okay? When you're making decisions, are you making them out of fear or desperation? And if so, you may want to check that. Check yourself, okay? Take a beat, pause. If it is coming from a place of fear or desperation, it's not the time to make the decision. Okay, we have all this thunderbolt energy around us, okay? It's like, maybe, like, what if all of this that's happening around me, like, instead of falling into victimhood, which is a real, a reality right now, and it can be a trap, is to think about what's the opportunity here for me? Instead of, oh, I'm a victim of this, like, what's the opportunity? What is this energy showing me? Like, what is this illuminating right now? Okay, and then finally, a cosmic blessing, some support from the stars for you all. I hope that this finds you well for February, that it serves you. Thank you for being here with me, and I look forward to the next one. Take good care of yourselves, hydrate well, do a lot of grounding. This is very unsettling time, so ground, rest, care for yourself, and get that spiritual cleansing. The more we work on ourselves, ironically, the better it is for not only our immediate ones who are all around us, and that we are better people for them, but it also lessens the collective suffering on the planet. So as you heal yourself, as you take care of yourself, you are actually in service to the collective. This is not a selfish act. All right. Sending lots of love from Atlanta, and wishing you, a wonderful February. Take care, guys.